If you're working harder than ever, but your business still feels chaotic, you're not broken. Your business is just unorganized. And here's what most founders don't realize, that chaos has a specific structure. There is a pattern to why it keeps happening. Once you see the pattern, you can fix it. By the end of this video, you know exactly why your business feels out of control, and you see the three-phase path to change it. I know how exhausting this is. You built something real. You have clients, revenue, you have a team. On paper, you should feel successful, but every day feels like you're barely holding it together. And the thought that creeps in, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. That thought is wrong, and today I'm going to show you why. This isn't about working harder or finding better people. It's about understanding the structural problem that keeps you trapped. And once you understand it, everything shifts. Let me paint a picture of what I mean by unorganized, because most founders don't realize they're stuck here until they see the specific pattern. Picture this. It's Monday morning, you sit down to do one strategic thing you've been putting off for weeks. Maybe it's updating your pricing. Maybe it's finally documenting that onboarding process. Within 15 minutes, your phone buzzes. A team member has a quick question. Hey, should I send the client the custom onboarding or the standard one? You answer, you get back to work. 7 minutes later, another ping. The vendor wants to know if we're going with option A or option B. You don't even remember what the options were, so you have to ask for context. Another 10 minutes gone. By lunch, you answer 14 questions, approve 3 small purchases, fix the scheduling conflict, and written 0 words on that strategic project you plan to finish. Here's what this looks like. Your time gets sliced into fragments too small to do real work. That's not a bad day. That's your systems. If your typical day looks like this, your business isn't broken. It's unorganized in a very specific way. Everything runs through you because there is no other path for decisions to take. This is what unorganized actually means. Not that your desk is messy, not that you forgot to buy a planner. It means the business has no structures for decisions, processes, or ownership that doesn't involve you personally. Chaos doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Let me explain why this pattern gets worse over time and not better. When everything runs through you, you become what I call the decision choke point. Every time someone waits on you for an answer, 3 things happen. First, they stop, work halts, progress freezes. The thing that they were working on doesn't move forward until you respond. Second, they lose momentum. By the time you get back to them, they have already switched to something else. Now they have to reload the problem into their brain, and that takes energy. Third, they learn to wait. This is the hidden damage. Every time your team comes to you and you answer, you are training them that the right move is to ask you first. You're building a culture of dependency without realizing it. So the more you answer, the more they ask. The more you are available, the more interruptions you get. The more you help, the less ownership they take. This is why working harder makes it worse. Here's the number that should stop you cold. The average founder loses 23 hours per week to interruptions and context switching. That's not my opinion, that's research on founder time allocation. 23 hours, that's almost 3 full work days every week. Gone. Not to client work, not to strategy, to answering questions your team could answer themselves if you had systems. Now, here's where this gets expensive. Let's put real number to this. I want you to do a quick calculation with me right now. Pause if you need to, but think about this. How many hours per week do you work? Be honest. Now, out of those hours, how many are things that only you can do? The real CEO work. The strategy, relationship building with key clients, vision, high-level decisions. For most founders I hear from, the answer is between 5 and 15 hours of true CEO work. The rest, tasks that feel urgent but aren't actually using your unique value. And here's the math. If you work in 60 hours and 10 of them are real CEO work, that's an 83% founder trap rate. 83% of your work life is spent on things that should happen without you. Now, multiply that by your founder hourly rate. If your time is worth $150 an hour, and as a founder it's probably worth more, that's over $300,000 a year in opportunity cost. not lost revenue, opportunity cost. The things that you could have done, the growth that you could have created, the strategic moves you could have made. That's what your chaos costs. And here's what hurts even more. This number doesn't count the personal costs. The missed dinners, the vacations where you checked your phone every 20 minutes, the Sunday night spent catching up because the week was so fragmented you never finished anything. If you want to see your exact number, I built a tool for this, the Founder Trap Calculator. 3 sliders, 30 seconds, and you see exactly what being the bottleneck costs you annually. And most founders are genuinely shocked by the number. The link is in the description. Let me show you why this is fixable. James Clear wrote something in Atomic Habits that changed how I think about business operations. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Read that again. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. This means that no matter how ambitious you are, no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you want to grow, you will always be limited by your systems. If your systems are chaotic, your results will be chaotic. If your systems are unclear, your outcomes will be unclear. And if your systems live entirely in your head, your business will never grow past your personal capacity to hold it all. And here's what most founders get wrong about this. They think that systems means bureaucracy. More meetings, more documentation that nobody reads, red tape that slows everything down. That's not what I'm talking about. Real systems do the opposite. They create clarity so fast that people don't need to ask you questions. They create structure so strong that decisions get made without you being in the room. They create rhythm so that the business runs predictably whether you're there or not. Systems aren't the opposite of freedom. Systems are how you give freedom. The reason your business feels chaotic isn't because you don't have enough systems. It's because your only system is you, and that system doesn't scale. So, what is the alternative? There is a pattern I keep seeing. Founders who break out of the chaos follow the same 3 phases, whether they know it or not. I call it the operations reset framework. Extract, assign, and scale. Let me break down what each phase actually means. Phase 1 is extract. This is where you get everything out of your head, every decision you make, every process you follow, every piece of tribal knowledge that lives only in your memory. Here's what this looks like in practice. You record yourself doing tasks. You brain dump every recurring decision. You map every workflow that currently runs through you. The goal isn't to create a 200-page operations manual nobody reads. The goal is to make the invisible visible. Once something's documented, it's transferable. While it's in your head, it's trapped. Most founders skip this step. They jump straight into, I'll just delegate this. But delegation without extraction fails. Your team can't own something they can't see. Phase 2 is assign. This is where you give real ownership to your team, not tasks, ownership. There's a critical difference. A task is send this email. Ownership is you are responsible for all client communication in the first 30 days. When you assign ownership, you define who decides what. You create a decision authority matrix. These decisions you own, these decisions your team owns, these decisions can happen without asking anyone. The 70% rule applies here. If someone can do it 70% as well as you can, give it to them. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Phase 3 is scale. This is where you install rhythm, weekly cadences, check-ins, review systems, feedback loops that catch problems before they become emergency. Rhythm replaces you having to be the hero every time. When you have weekly operating cadences, small problems get caught early. Information flows without you asking. The business generates its own momentum instead of you needing to push it. When all 3 phases work together, extract, assign, and scale, you get what I call the reset. The business runs without you being the single point of failure. Your team owns decisions, growth makes things lighter instead of heavier. That's the shift we are building toward. I've given you a lot in this video, so let me make it simple. Here's the one thing you can do today, in the next hour, that starts breaking this pattern. The next week, keep a decision log. Every time someone asks you a question, write it down. Don't judge it. Don't try to fix it yet. Just document it. Who asked, what they asked, what you answered. At the end of the week, look at that list. You see patterns immediately. The same questions repeat. The same people ask. The same decisions come back to you over and over and over again. Those patterns are your extraction targets. Those are the systems trapped in your head that need to come out first. This one exercise reveals more about operational chaos than any assessment or audit because it's your actual data from your actual week. So start today, keep the log for 7 days. You'll be surprised what you see. Now here's the truth about everything I just shared. Understanding this is step 1. Implementing it is where most founders get stuck. It's one thing to know you need to extract, assign, and scale. It's another thing to actually do it while you're running a business, putting out fires, and managing client work. This is exactly what the 60-day operations reset is designed for. We work together to extract the systems from your head, assign a real ownership to your team, and install the rhythm that makes everything run without you. If you're watching this and thinking, I know what I need, but I can't seem to do it alone, that's what the discovery call is for. We'll map out your specific situation and see if the operations reset is a fit for you. The link is in the description. But if you're not ready for that, start with the founder trap calculator. See your real number. Most founders need to see it in dollars before they believe how much this is costing them. 30 seconds, 3 sliders, one number you can't ignore. If this video helped you see your business differently, I think you want to watch what I covered about why your team waits for your approval on everything, even small decisions. That's the heart of the assign phase, and it's where most founders get stuck. I'll link it right here on the screen.